Good evening. Also tonight,
還地於民
the fight to protect Nam Sang Wai wetland against the property development. The Chief Executive Donald Tsang has thanked the Foreign Ministry for its support during the Manila hostage crisis in August. He made the comments on the second day of his annual duty visit to Beijing. Mr. Tsang is scheduled to meet President Hu Jintao and Premier Wen Jiabao in the coming 2 days. The Ombudsman airline has criticized the Water Department for not monitoring the installation of water meters properly. This follows a case in which a woman receives a water bill of 900 Hong Kong dollars, even she has vacant her flat for 6 months. In another case, a tenant was charged nearly twice of what he should have paid. An investigation by the department later found that the meters has been mixed up with others. Mr. Lai says the department should carry out a territory-wide inspection to determine whether there have been other mistakes. Yuen Long District Councillor Kwang Zhen-yu and his representatives have arrived in Henderson Land's headquarters in Central and to handed in 30,000 signatures from the citizens, asking for a realty corporation to drop its property development plans in Nam Sang Wai wetland.
還地於民 誓保南生圍
At 4 p.m. yesterday afternoon, the corporation has sent a representative to pick up the letter. The councillor has expressed that Hong Kong needs to protect its natural environment over urbanization and allowing citizens to have the privilege to connect with Mother Nature. He urges the property developer to withdraw its realty plan. Hong Kong students who were stranded in London's Heathrow Airport by the big freeze in Europe have complained that the airline and the airport staff have failed to provide any help. Some who arrived back in Hong Kong says this morning described the condition as a battlefield or a refugee camp. Braden Edwards has the details.
Travel misery will continue to blight the UK in the run-up to Christmas, with Heathrow's woes looking far from over. Thousands of travellers trying to leave or return to the UK experienced another day of long queues and grim conditions on Monday at airports, as the snow and ice wreaked havoc. The big freeze has not only affected those trying to leave the UK by air, Eurostar passengers are also experiencing massive problems, some having to queue for more than 7 hours to board a train at St Pancras. The UK's roads and rail network has also been badly hit. The AA said it had experienced the busiest day in its 105-year history on Monday. Braden Edwards, DHK News.
South Korea has held live firing drills despite the threats of war from the north. South Korea's military has delayed the drill from the weekends due to bad weather, but the rumble of artillery fire could be heard through the air raids bunkers of the island of Yongpyong. Richie Lee reports.
The exercise was held in the disputed area which was shelled by Pyongyang in November. 2 civilians and 2 Marines died in the worst attack on South Korea territory since the Korean War ended in 1953. The international community has been split on where it stands on the crisis. China and Russia have cautioned Seoul against holding the exercise, while the United States have backed South Korea's right to hold the drills. Korean markets have been hit with the won falling more than 1% to a 4-week low against the dollar, and stocks also down 1% in early trade. U.S. diplomatic troubleshooter Bill Richardson, visiting Pyongyang to try to ease tensions, won agreement from North Korea to allow UN nuclear inspectors to return according to CNN, which has a team traveling with him. Richie Lee, DHK News.
Sport now with Timothy Jones, and Timmy's a big ouch for England's and Ashes cricketers.
Yes, Ivan. Captain Andrew Strauss is confident that England's 267-run defeat in the third Ashes Test at WACA ground will not cause panic in his side. The tourists have failed to bat out the opening hour on the 4th day in Perth as Australia grabbed the 5 wickets they needed to level the series 1-1 with 2 games to play. Strauss admitted the defeat was disappointing. He believes that his team's performance in the first 2 tests will ensure they will remain calm and confident. They still retain the Ashes ahead of the 4th test in Melbourne. Real Madrid's coach Joel Mourinho has failed to appear at a scheduled news conference ahead of his side at Copa del Rey's match against Levante. Mourinho's assistant appears instead facing the media and insists there's no rift between the Portuguese and the club's sporting director Jorge Vandano. The The assistant also says the club is united and have to focus on the match. And finally tonight, when sporting events and drinking parties mix together, it can deliver moments just like this. At the Sydney horse racing, the fastest round is being joined by a drunk horseless jockey making it to the third last of the competition by diving over the line. Despite this funny mess-up, the race keeps on going. And that's all the sports. Have a great week.
Thanks, Timmy, and that is the DHK Evening News. I'm Leung reporting from the Hong Kong studio. Thanks for your company. Good night.